Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. I'm Hasham Ali Khan. So now I'm starting the second problem on lease accounting. Last video I have completed the first main problem. Journal entry is required in the books of the lessee, what we have done in the previous video, first problem. Now second problem I am going to continue. You must have a hard copy printout of the problems which I have given in the link under my description. So keep a hard copy ready before start watching the problem. Now, see the second problem. Sundaram Leasing Company Limited leases an equipment to Shivam Limited. So, Sundaram Leasing Company is the lessor and Shivam Limited is the lessee, whose cost is 8,50,000. So, fair value of the asset is 8,50,000. The lease is for 4 years. The annual installment payable in advance is rupees 2,50,000 and the implied rate of interest is 12%. So, 4 years is the lease period. But the lease rental has to be paid in advance, not at the end of the year. That means at the time of signing the agreement itself, first installment should be paid. First lease rental will be paid at the time of signing the agreement, 0 year. At 0 year, first lease rental should be paid 2,50,000. Then the residual value at the end of the period is estimated to be 10,000 rupees and the lessee has the option to buy the equipment at this value. So 10,000 residual value. Depreciation is to be provided at 20% on the straight line method. So 8,50,000 is the cost, 20% is the debt. So 8,50,000 into 20%, 1,70,000. That is the annual depreciation. Every year remains constant. Insurance and maintenance expense per year are estimated to be 20,000. So it's a financial lease. So we assume that this insurance and maintenance expenditure will be paid by the lessee. Then pass journal entry in the books of the lessee. Only in the books of lessee, Shivam Limited, we have to pass the journal entries. Before passing the journal entry, we have to find out how much is the interest, finance charges included in lease rental. Every lease rental is 2,50,000. 4 lease rentals have to be paid. So in that 2,50,000, how much are the interest and how much is the reduction in liability? That we have to find out first. So in this table, calculation of finance charges. Year 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 installments have to be paid. First installment 0 year because it is given paid in advance. The lease rentals will be paid in advance. That's why we will begin with 0 year. The amount shown as liability. 0 year means at the time of signing the agreement, at the inception of the lease. So 8,50,000 is the fair value of the asset. Now interest 12%, no interest, 0 year. 0 year means at the beginning of at the inception of the lease there is no interest. Interest will arise at the end of first year, at the end of second year, like that. So 0 year, no interest. Lease rental paid 2,50,000. So advance, it is to be paid in advance. So 0 year, 2,50,000 lease rental paid. The amount paid towards reduction of liability. We don't have any interest charges. So this 2,50,000 entirely is in reduction of the liability. Principal repayment. Principal repayment. This entire 2,50,000 is the principal repayment. Now outstanding amount shown as liability after lease payment. How much is the liability after paying the lease payment? After paying this 2,50,000, so 8,50,000 minus 2,50,000, so liability will be 6 lakh. So after making the lease rental payment, 6 lakh rupees is the liability. Now this will be the opening for the first year. At the beginning of first year, the lease rental will be 6 lakh. Now interest rate 12%. So 12% of 6 lakh, 72,000. So out of 2,50,000 of lease rental, 72,000 is the interest. So subtract 2,50,000 minus 72,000, you will get 1,78,000. This 1,78,000 is the amount paid towards reduction of liability. Amount paid towards reduction of liability, 1,78,000. Now what is the closing liability after making the payment of lease rental? The beginning of the year, how much was the liability? 6 lakh. How much liability reduced? 1,78,000. So 6 lakh minus 1,78,000, 4,22,000 is the liability after paying the lease rental at the end of first year. Now this will become second year opening. 4,22,000 will become opening outstanding liability at the beginning of second year. Again 12%. 12% of 4,22,000, 50,640 are the interest charges, finance charges. How much lease rental? 2,50,000. So in 2,50,000, the interest charges are 50,640. So deduct 50,640, remaining balance 1,99,360. This is the reduction in liability or amount paid towards principal, 1,99,000. Now closing, 4,22,000 minus 1,99,360, 2,22,640. This is the closing outstanding liability after making the payment of lease rental. So end of second year, 2,22,640. This will become opening for the third year, 2,22,640. Now this is the last installment because 4 installment has to be paid. First installment we have paid, second we have paid, third we have paid. This is the last one. So outstanding liability is 2,22,640, but we are making the payment 2,50,000. The balancing figure, we will not calculate the interest, we will take the balancing figure. So 2,50,000 minus 222,640, you will get 27,360 as the balancing figure interest. This is the interest for the third year. Now how much is the balance? 2,50,000 minus 27,360, you will get 2,22,640. This is the principal repayment, reduction in liability. Now beginning of the year liability was 2,22,640 and we have paid 2,22,640. So end of the year no outstanding liability. It is nil, completely paid. So by making this table, we come to know the finance charges, interest charges. First year interest charges 72,000, second year 50,640, third year 27,360. And the principal repayment 0 year 2,50,000, first year 1,78,000, second year 199,360, third year 222,640. That's it. These are the calculations we require before passing the journal entries. Now journal entry is in the books of Shivam Limited lessee. Now 0 year. 0 year means at the time of signing the agreement, at the inception of the lease. First entry, 0 year. Equipment account data to lease payable. It will be treated as an asset and also treated as a liability. Suppose I am the lessee, so asset as well as liability for me. Equipment account data 8,50,000 to lease payable 8,50,000. Being the equipment taken on lease, I have not written the narration here. You have to write the narration after every entry. So what is the narration? Being the equipment taken on lease. That's it. Now immediately lease rental is paid because lease rentals are paid in advance. Advance means at 0 year. At the time of signing the agreement, first installment should be paid. First rental should be paid. So entry, lease payable account data to bank. Lease payable account data to bank, 2,50,000. Being the first lease rental paid. These two entries will come at the time of signing the agreement, 0 year. Now we'll come to the first year, end of first year. The end of first year, 5 or 6 entries will be passed. What are the 6 entries? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So totally 6 entries will be repeated every year. The same entries, only amounts will change. So what is the first entry? At the end of first year, finance charges account data to lease rental. A new account is opened called lease rental. So finance charges account data to lease rental. How much is the interest for the first year? 72,000. 72,000 is the interest. Being the finance charges due for first year. Being the finance charges due for first year. Second entry, lease payable account data to lease rental. Lease payable account data to lease rental. This entry is for the amount paid towards principal. Amount paid towards principal. So how much? 72,000 is the interest. 1,78,000. 1,78,000 is the repayment of principal. 1,78,000. Being the amount paid towards reduction in liability. Being the amount paid in reduction of liability. Next is lease rental paid. Lease rental account data to bank. Lease rental account data to bank, being the second lease rental paid, 2,50,000. Then depreciation account data to accumulated depreciation. How much? 20% of cost. The cost is 8,50,000. 8,50,000 into 20%, 1,70,000. Being the depreciation provided. Next entry will be insurance and maintenance account data to bank. It is given in the problem that every year insurance and maintenance of rupees 20,000 will be paid. So insurance and maintenance to bank 20,000. Next, transfer the finance charges, depreciation and insurance and maintenance to profit and loss account. These three accounts should be transferred to profit and loss account. So entry profit and loss account data to finance charges 72,000, to depreciation 1,70,000, to insurance and maintenance 20,000. Take the total of these three amount 2,62,000. Being the finance charges, depreciation and insurance and maintenance transferred to profit and loss account. That's all. So these 6 entries will be repeated every year. First year completed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The same 6 entries for second year. At the end of second year, finance charges account data to lease rental. Same entry. Finance charges account data to lease rental. What is the finance charges? 50,640. Second year finance charges 50,640. Being the finance charges due. Next entry, lease payable account data to lease rental. Lease payable account data to lease rental. Same entry. Being the amount paid towards principal. How much is the amount paid towards principal? 1,99,360. So 1,99,360. Being the amount paid towards reduction in liability. Next, third entry will be lease rental account data to bank. Being the third lease rental paid. Lease rental account data to bank 2,50,000. Then depreciation account data to accumulated depreciation 1,70,000. Being the depreciation provided. Then insurance and maintenance account data to bank. Being the insurance and maintenance paid. Transfer entry profit and loss account data to depreciation, to finance charges, to insurance and maintenance. Take the total 50,640, 1,70,000, 20,000, 2,40,640. Being the finance charges, depreciation and insurance and maintenance transferred to profit and loss account. So how many years over? First year completed, second year completed. Now I am in the third year. Again third year, 6 entries will be repeated. Same entries, amount will get changed. So third year, first entry, finance charges account data to lease rental. Finance charges account data to lease rental. How much are the finance charges? 27,360. 27,360 being the finance charges due. Then lease payable account data to lease rental. Lease payable account data to lease rental. How much is the principal repayment? Here 2,22,640. 2,22,640 is the principal repayment. Being the principal amount repaid. Then lease rental account data to bank. This is the fourth and final installment paid. Lease rental paid. Lease rental account data to bank. Then depreciation account data to accumulated depreciation, same entry every year, 1,70,000. Insurance and maintenance account data to bank, 20,000, being the insurance and maintenance paid. Then profit and loss account data to finance charges, to depreciation, to insurance and maintenance. Whatever you have debited here, the same thing will be credited. 27,360, 1,70,000, 22,17,360. Being the finance charges, depreciation and insurance and maintenance transferred to profit and loss account. 3 years completed. Now last and final year, fourth year. In fourth year, we are not paying any finance charges. Finance charges are paid only up to 3 years. The finance charges entry will not come. The finance charges entry will not come. When there is no finance charges, then there is no lease payable to lease rental. So our entry will begin at the end of the fourth year. At the end of the fourth year, residual value is given in the problem 10,000. In the problem it is given that at the end of the lease term, the lessee has the right to purchase the equipment by paying 10,000 rupees to the lessor. The lessee, Shivam Limited, will pay 10,000 rupees to the lessor and take the ownership of the equipment. In that case, equipment account data to bank 10,000. Being the asset purchased at residual value. Being the equipment purchased at residual value at the end of the fourth year. Then depreciation account data to accumulated depreciation, same entry, 1,70,000, fourth year depreciation. Then insurance and maintenance to bank, same entry, 20,000, being the insurance and maintenance paid. Last transfer, profit and loss account data to depreciation to insurance and maintenance. We don't have finance charges. We don't have finance charges in the 4th year. So only depreciation and insurance and maintenance, that will be transferred to profit and loss account. That's it. So this is the end of problem number 2. Second problem completed. Come on, now we'll start the third main problems. 2 problems we have completed. Now see the third problem. Devi Limited takes a plant on lease on 1st April 2011 from Leasing Limited. The following details are available. So Devi Limited is the lessee. So they have purchased a plant on lease on 1st April 2011. The lessor Leasing Limited. The following data are available. Fair value of the plant 2 lakh. Then residual value nil after 5 years. The life of the plant is 5 years. No residual value. Lease rentals are 55,480 per annum for 5 years payable at the end of each year. That means lease rentals are paid at the end of the year, not beginning of the year. So year 0 we should not take for calculating interest. Then every year lease rental to be paid is 55,480. First year end, second year end, third year, fourth year, fifth year. Show how this transaction would be journalized in the books of Devi Limited for the first 2 years. Only we have to pass the journal entries for the first 2 years. Actually lease term is 5 years. But we are not required to pass the entries for 5 years, only 2 years. Because the entries will get repeated. Every year same entries will come. Now the new point in this problem is the rate of interest is not given. Implicit rate of interest is not given. Without rate of interest we cannot find out the finance charges. In the earlier problems, every problem interest rate was given. With the help of interest rate we have calculated the finance charges. But in this problem the implicit rate of interest is not given. That is the new point. So we have to find out the implicit rate of interest, then only we can find out the finance charges, then only we can pass the journal entries. So that is the new point. How to find out the implicit rate of interest? Short problems already we have done. Now again I repeat. Implicit rate of interest is not given in the problem. Hence first we compute implicit rate of interest. What is the fair value of the asset? 2 lakh given in the problem. Period of lease 5 years. Lease rental payable 55,480 at the end of each year. Every year end 55,480 lease rental will be paid. The fair value of the asset is 2 lakh. With the help of this we can find out PVAF, present value of annuity factor. PVAF. So PVAF is equal to fair value of the asset divided by annual lease rental. What is the fair value? Fair value 2 lakh. Annual lease rental 55,480. So 2 lakh divided by 55,480, 3.605. 3.605 is annuity factor. Now we have to locate in PV of annuity table. Take out the present value of annuity factor table. In that table, in the row 5, because the period of lease is 5 years. So against 5th year, see in which column this value 3.605 falls. So if you search in the 5th row column, 5th row, then you will get 3.6048 in the column 12%. So in PVAF table in the row 5th, locate a factor nearest to 3.605. So you will find 3.6048 in the column 12%. And 3.6048 is very near to 3.605, equivalent to 3.605. So we can take 12% as the implicit rate, because this value is falling in the column 12%. In the column 12%, this value you will find 3.605 or 3.6048. So 12% is the implicit rate of interest. Now we calculate the finance charges at 12%. Calculation of interest. Year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 years. Now outstanding balance at the beginning of the year. Then interest at the rate of 12%. First of all, what is the fair value of the asset? 2 lakh. So 2 lakh rupees is the fair value. First year interest 12%. So 12% of 2 lakh, 24,000 is the interest. Annual lease rental is 55,480. So lease rental 55,480. So in 55,480, 12,000 rupees or 24,000 rupees are the interest. So subtract 55,480 minus 24,000, you will get 31,480. This is the principal repayment. This is the principal repayment at the end of first year. Now what is the outstanding balance at the end of the year? Beginning of the year, what is the outstanding balance? 2 lakh. How much principal repayment? 31,480 is the principal repaid. Minus kar do 2 lakh minus 31,480. The balancing figure 1,68,520. This is the outstanding balance at the end of first year. At the end of first year. So first year closing will become second year opening. So this 1,68,520 is the opening balance for second year. Second year outstanding balance at the beginning. On this amount, calculate 12%. So 12% of 1,68,520, 20,222 are the finance charges, interest, second year. How much is the lease rental paid? 55,480 is the lease rental paid. In this 55,480, how much is the interest? 20,222. Subtract. 55,480 minus 20,222. How much is the principal repayment? 35,258. This is the principal repayment. Now end of the year, how much balance outstanding? 1,68,520 minus 35,258. So end of the year outstanding balance 1,33,262. This is the closing balance at the end of second year. This will become opening balance for the third year. Third year opening balance 1,33,262. Again 12% of this amount. 12% of 1,33,262. 15,991 is the interest. Lease rental 55,480. Subtract 55,480 minus 15,991. 39,489 is the principal repayment. Now find out the closing balance. 1,33,262 minus 39,489. So 93,773 is the closing outstanding balance at the end of third year. This will become fourth year beginning. So fourth year 93,773 into 12%, 11,253 fourth year interest. Right? Now annual lease rental 55,480 minus 11,253 principal repayment 44,227. Now closing balance 93,773 minus 44,227. The balance is 49,546. This is the closing balance at the end of fourth year. This will become opening balance. Now last year we will take the balancing figure interest. We will not calculate at 12%. We will take the balancing figure. So what is the lease rental paid? Lease rental 55,480. How much is the amount due? 49,546. So 55,480 minus 49,456. You will get the balancing figure 5,934. This is the balancing figure interest. Interest. Right? So out of 59,480 minus 5,934, you will get 49,546. Principal repayment 49,546. So beginning of the year 49,546 and paid 49,546. Outstanding balance is nil. No outstanding balance. That's all. So ultimately we have calculated the interest charges for first year, second year, third year, fourth year, fifth year. And these are the principal repayment. These two items, two columns we require for the journal entries. Interest charges we require and principal repayment we require for passing the journal entries. Now we'll come to the journal entries in the books of Devi Limited Lessee. First of all, at the time of signing the agreement, only one entry will come. 2011 April 1st. On this date, the agreement is signed. Inception of the lease. Equipment or plant. Plant account data to lease payable. Plant is an asset. Lease payable is a liability. Asset and liability will be taken by the lessee. The plant account data to lease payable being the plant taken on lease. 2 lakh. First entry. Now at the end of first year. The year ends on 31st March 2012. Our year begins from 1st April 2011 and year ends on 31st March 2012. Now 5 entries will be passed. What are the 5 entries? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. First entry. Finance charges account data to lease rental. Every problem. Last so many problems we have done. The first entry, finance charges account data to lease rental. How much finance charges? 24,000. 24,000. Being the finance charges due. So being the finance charges due. Second entry, principal repayment. First year principal repayment are 31,480. 31,480 is the principal repayment. Entry, lease payable account data to lease rental account. lease payable account data to lease rental 31,480 being the principal amount repaid. The next entry, annual lease rental charges paid, lease rental paid. So lease rental account data to bank 55,480 being the first lease rental paid. Next entry, depreciation. Depreciation account data to accumulated depreciation. Straight line method. What is the cost of the plant? 2 lakh. What is the life of the asset? 5 years. So 2 lakh divided by 5. So annual depreciation 40,000 being the depreciation provided. Depreciation account data to accumulated depreciation. Now last entry, transfer the finance charges and depreciation to P&L account. So profit and loss account data to finance charges to depreciation. Finance charges are 24,000, depreciation is 40,000, total 64,000 being the finance charges and depreciation transferred to profit and loss account over these 5 entries. The same 5 entries will be repeated for the second year. The second year is 2013, last year 2012, now 2013, March 31st. First entry, finance charges account data to lease rental. What is the second year interest charges? 20,222. So 20,222 finance charges account data to lease rental being the finance charges due. Second entry, lease payable account data to lease rental being the principal amount repaid. How much is the principal amount repaid? Second year you can see 35,258. 35,258 is the principal repayment being the principal repayment. Next entry will be lease rental paid. Lease rental paid, lease rental account data to bank 55,480 being the second lease rental paid. Next, depreciation account data to accumulated depreciation, same entry 40,000 being the depreciation provided. Last entry, profit and loss account data to finance charges to depreciation. How much finance charges we have debited? 20,222. So to finance charges 20,222 and depreciation 40,000, total 60,222 being the finance charges and depreciation transferred to profit and loss account. That's all. So this is the end of problem number 3. So far we have completed 3 problems, main problems on lease accounting, main problems. So in these 3 problems you have seen how the journal entries will be passed in the books of the lessee. So if you are satisfied with my lecture, give a like to the video. Share my channel in your group, in your friend circle so that more students can watch the video and increase their knowledge. Give your comments on these videos. And lastly, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you have not yet subscribed. We'll continue the next problem in the next video.